Hello and welcome back to Calradia 1403, and we have just entered a Tier 2 tournament. As you can tell, we're now up against camp followers and Swadian militia, so that's actually very cool, because before we were just up against Rhodoks tribesmen. So this is going to be interesting. We're also going to be getting a spear. This is the main reason why I wanted to do this tournament, because let's face it, it's about time that we get our hands on a wonderful pole arm so that we can hopefully do something really nice with it on horseback. And that reminds me, I do need to actually switch out my mount and upgrade it a little bit. Anyway, we've also done a little bit of importing of new units, because I apparently failed in importing the correct units when it came to the Warband edition of the mod, which I was unaware of. I actually thought I did it right, but apparently I didn't do that because I didn't put a file in the correct location, and well, I'm gonna be showing you that I've imported it after this, and I'll show you some of the units and all that wonderful stuff, because they have new gear. They actually have new gear with the new file being added. And I gotta say, they look very cool. The sharpshooters, the Rhodoks sharpshooters are looking absolutely fantastic, by the way. They are looking so incredibly nice, because they have some just incredibly cool looking armor now. And yeah, they're definitely going to be super fun to hopefully get at some point in the future. I'm very much hoping that my forces will be able to win this. Because I just got hit in the face, as you can see, which was pretty bad. Oh, there we go, there we go. Okay, they actually are managing to win, maybe. The problem, I don't want to skip the current match, because I think we're going to fail then if that happens. I can't speed this up, so I will just use my super speed mod to do that. And let's see if we can maybe get something going here. Come on, guys. I'm sure you can do it. Yes, there we go. Whew, that was a close one. That was very, very close. Okay, so we did manage to get through by the skin of our teeth right there. And now they've given me a very similar situation. Oh dear. This is very bad. Whenever I am given a polearm, it's just not good. It is not good news. Well, shall we say? Okay, let me rephrase. Because it's not really the fact that I'm being given a polearm, it's the fact that I'm being given a lance. And I'm not very good with lances at the best of times, so I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to bring out my mace, and I'm just going to try and bonk him on the head. I think that probably seems like the best course of action here. As you can quite clearly tell, he does seem to be somewhat more receptive to a bit of bonking, you know? I mean, I think any man seeing Barney's face, he's going to think, yes, that is a delicious little bit of scrumptiousness. Indeed. Oh, yeah, anyway, the point is, on a more serious note, lances for me, I think I might have to couch lance in this mod. I think that might actually be the way to go. Because oh dear. Okay, we might have a bit of an issue here. This is going to be a problem. Okay, I'm going to have to do this, and we're going to have to stay around here, just because this is not going to do. Yeah, there we go. Nice hit, nice hit. Can I actually hit him one more time? He's going to die. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. That is unfortunate. I was hopeful that my backhand would have killed him there, but no such luck. Unfortunately, this is what it is kind of like when the AI is super, super good at combat. And yeah, there we go. Whew, that was nice. Okay, okay. Now, all I need to do is just wait a little bit of time. I don't need to go super hard here. You know, we can just be a little bit relaxed about it. And now we can make our way over here. Now, I'm just going to be... Huh. Well... You know what? I'm keeping that in the episode. I'm keeping that in the episode, even though nothing really happened, unfortunately, because I personally feel like it's kind of sad if we fail a tournament, you know? I feel like that was hilarious. That was very funny. Anyway, I'm just going to show you that I have done the importing correctly this time around. So basically, what I did before in the first episode is I imported these, which is the vanilla version of 1403. This is the Warband edition, however, which aims to change what the various units are wearing and, you know, various armor and weapons and so on and so forth. So that's exactly the reason why what we're going to do right now is I'm just going to do it on screen just so you can actually see what's happening here. And now our sharpshooters and things like that should be looking like this. And they don't normally look like this, by the way. They don't normally look like that. They, if you import the other version, then you'll see that they have a pretty big difference there. So, anyway, now that we've done that, and now that I've failed very, very appropriately to you know, complete that tournament, I think what I'm actually going to do is I might just try to purchase a spear or something along those lines, because now that I think about it, winning that tournament would have been really, really nice. However, I feel like, you know what, maybe it would just be a good idea just to get my hands on something, you know, just get my hands on something that is actually going to be somewhat useful. Like, for example, this Burgundian glaive, that looks really cool, actually. Yeah, there's some really, really cool things here. And you can even use the military glaive as well. It has cutting damage. You can also do spear bracing, couch lancing, and all that wonderful stuff. These things are so cheap as well. I mean, not the Italian bill, of course. The Italian bill is definitely going to be really, really expensive. And the simple poleaxe as well. A poleaxe would be really fun to use, actually. English glaive, too? All right. That's probably going to set itself on fire at some point. But yeah, okay, we'll just do this, and I'm just going to be equipping that instead, and we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's going to suck. Maybe it's not going to be super, super useful for me. What is this? Viking looted iron mail mittens. Okay, you know what? Basically, what I use tournaments for is not even for gaining a significant amount of cash or anything like that, but it's more for doing things like this, where we just gain a little bit of loot. Obviously, it's probably a better idea for us to gain the loot elsewhere. You know, like, for example, gaining it in a battle. But from my perspective, I feel like it's kind of fun. I don't know. I find it kind of fun to you know, do some tournaments and things like that. But I know some people don't really like them that much. Oh, nice. Oh, I actually thought that was a headshot. Never mind. It wasn't. Okay, can we get the headshot? Oh, no, we got an under-shoulder hit, though. That's fantastic. Okay, here we go. What we're going to need to do is just some very, very careful aiming here. I'm going to assume that the opponent is going to... Oh, yeah. They're going to be very accurate if we allow them to. Is this guy going to come for me in a minute? Yep, it looks as though he was wanting to do so, but that's obviously not going to work. I have a wonderful two-handed sword as well in this round, so let me see if I can make this work. I would like to do a bit of a thrust against one of these guys. I'd like to kill this guy if at all possible. He is indeed part of the blue team, and if I can eliminate the blue team, at least one of them, then it will even up the odds quite a great deal. Okay, yeah, this is going to be a problem. Okay, I'm just going to block that. That was not going to work for him in any universe. This guy might have my number, though. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. This is bad. Oh, this is very bad. Okay, I got knocked down. That's not great. I did get back up again, though, because no one's going to knock me down. And let's see here. Okay, we got some pretty bad situation. Ah, I did qualify. All right, here we go. Second round. Let's try not to get shot in the face like we did before. And let's face it, it is... Let's face it. Ha, ha, ha. You see? You see what I did there? By complete mistake? Yeah, indeed, indeed. Anyway, basically what we want to do is just try to avoid getting shot. So I'm going to try to use this guy's body as a bit of a way to cover myself as I make my way towards the ranged attacker. And then I will hopefully be able to bonk her on the face. There we go. And I think she should be dead in just a moment. There we go. Nice. Oh, I did get shot. Okay, wait. No, I think we're okay, though. I think we're okay. Oh, no. Wait. No. I actually wanted to look at the scoreboard, but apparently I can't do that. Let me... Wait a minute. Be careful. We still have our teammate alive. So this is good. Oh, wow. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know I'm here. Okay. Apparently he decided that his eyes would, stop working for a second. But there you go. All right. That's fine. A bit funny for a crossbowman, but all right. Anyway, up against Swadian militia. And, ooh, wait a minute. This is bad. Ooh, that could have been really, really bad, actually. I could have killed myself there. That would have been pretty hilarious, but also pathetic. What? Did you see that? How did I miss that? I have no idea. All right. Okay, well, I know how I missed that. I mean, that was pretty obvious that was going to miss, but the first one, I thought I had that in the bag. Oh. Okay. Alright. I actually have to say, couch lancing, pretty fun, right? Pretty fun. It did massive damage, but I was only able to do that through sheer force of will, pretty much, more than anything else. And wow, she's dead. Okay, that was extremely quick and easy. There you go. Alright, so I rolled a 12 for a legendary. I rolled 64 for the lordly, and I rolled a 57 for the fine item, unfortunately. But that's okay, because we actually got some really, really nice gloves, and also my renown gain is also really nice here. We gained 5 renown, and just bear in mind, look at what I need right here. I need 50 renown. This is exactly the reason why I decided to go and do some tournaments, because while it isn't going to be the most efficient use of my time, because obviously, let's face it, the better way to do things is just to fight as many higher tier bandits as possible, and bigger parties of bandits and things like that, because they're going to give you some really, really good loot, and you're going to gain prisoners. You can sell them, you can sell the loot, and your forces are also going to gain experience. So generally, doing battles is going to definitely help you much, much more in the long run when it comes to monetary value and experience and so on. However, it's not going to be super good for renown. Renown is a bit of a weird beast in Bannerlord. Sometimes you're going to gain a significant amount, and other times you're going to not. And in these cases, you kind of want to try to focus on that as much as possible. And that's exactly what I was trying to do here with these tournaments, because I do have that 25 charm skill now. I have that 25 charm skill perk, and that indeed provides me with 3 additional renown from the tournament itself. Oh, two bands of loot. Come on. Yeah. There we go. Oh, that's what I'm looking for right now. That is what I'm looking for. This is absolutely perfect. Wonderful situation to be in. My forces are clearly not in a very particularly good place, but I do have this amazing glaive now. So let's see if I can actually use this to good effect. Okay, here we go. Okay, wow, 48 damage. That's actually not bad, all things considered. Did I just kill someone? I just killed someone by mistake. That is hilarious. Okay, this glaive is funny. This glaive is really, really funny. I don't even have to really try with this thing. I can just randomly swipe with it, and, well, I'm maybe going to kill something, so I like that a great deal. There we go. Ah, nice. There we go. Nice damage. Just a little bit there. Another one there. Wow, so much damage to the head right now. I am so sad, though, that we're not actually getting any polearm skill. Look at my polearm skill right now. It's not leveling up in the least, but I killed 8 people. Can you imagine? 8 people and you didn't gain 1 point of polearm skill? Did he? Did he actually gain? Yeah, no, he did actually gain 1 point of polearm skill, and we got 3 renown for that, so that's not terrible. That's okay. And we're also going to be getting some trained crossbowmen, of course. I'm basically just going to level up crossbowmen for the moment, because we are mostly fighting against people that don't have shields. If we're going to face a bunch of sea raiders, then we are obviously going to need some infantry to kind of help us out with that, because otherwise the crossbowmen are just going to get closed in on, and it's going to be extremely easy, you know, very, very easy for the Sea Raiders to, you know, bonk them real bad. So yeah, I'm kind of trying to avoid that if I can, you know, that would be relatively nice. Anyway, we're just going to sell all of this. That's going to get me 7,000 actually. 7,000, that's pretty nice. And I'll just buy some fish, buy some grain, because I do want to make sure that we're not going to be having too many issues with my wages. And you know what? Considering the fact that I wouldn't mind fighting some Sea Raiders, we're going to go into Sea Raider territory. This is not actually where I wanted to go. I wanted to go down here. I'm not sure why I'm getting carried away and going into Nord territory. I mean, I'm talking about Sea Raiders, and they're basically Nords, right? They're basically Nordic, you know, Nordic bandits, but it's obviously not the best course of action for me to go that way, because Sea Raiders are generally found over here, from what I remember. So we're going to go over there and actually have a look-see. Wow. Okay. So one of my crossbowmen literally just hit one of these guys from all the way across the map. Got to say, that's extremely impressive. And funnily enough, I actually wonder, can I die here? Can I actually die here against these looters? I think so, right? Yeah, I think so. If I get you know, a little bit too shall we say overconfident or overzealous, overeager, any of those things, then I'll definitely be under the ground very, very soon. Not overground, but underground, you know, 6 feet under and all that wonderful stuff. Michael C. Hall. Yes, the Dexter fellow. Anyway, references aside, there you go. Another 1.2 renown. Obviously, I am trying to get to clan tier 1, funnily enough. Do I want to take these legendary shoes, or do I want to sell them? For me personally, I actually want to sell them. I don't really want to... I don't know. I don't really care too much about, you know, 5 armor here or there, especially considering later on in the game, when we have a significant amount of cash, it's really not going to make any difference. Like, cash right now is very important because we're going to have the ability to then create caravans, and that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. I'm actually going to talk to this guy. I'm going to say I want to form a caravan. I'm going to make Solidra do the caravan stuff because she is actually a trading person. And we're going to be keeping our other companion, who is Svala, as our medic. She's actually going to be our medic in the party, and that's something that I need to address now. Let me just make sure. There we go. She will now be the medic, and I will be the scout. Because I'm not going to get another scout, even though, hilariously enough, I actually feel as though my scouting skill levels very slowly for some reason. I don't know why that is, but apparently it is just taking all the time in the world. Apparently it's on a leisurely stroll through the park or something. I don't really know why, but anyway, that's... what? Ah, okay, wait. We're getting this guy to come with us. I don't want that. I would very much appreciate... Whoa, look at how many Sea Raiders there are. Yes, this is the reason why I came over here, by the way. This is absolutely incredible. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Okay, this is absolutely wonderful. This is one of the best encounters we could have at this point.
Under my command!
And I can only hope that they're going to follow the loot table of Warband as well, because whenever you fight Sea Raiders in Warband, you have an exceptional chance to gain some really good gear. And I'm talking about chainmail, right? Chainmail. I'm talking about shields. I'm talking about all kinds of really cool things that can sell for a very nice amount. So if we can make that happen, then I'll be very pleased. Whoa, already killed that guy instantly. Whoa, that was insane. Okay, nice face hit there. I actually am hitting people in the face multiple times. Unfortunately, some of them have good helmets, and so as a result, it's not really going to do too much. There we go. Hit him in the shoulder for 12. Okay, maybe we can do a little bit of extra something. Yeah, nice. There we go. Okay, I've got to be a bit careful, though, because, funnily enough, Sea Raiders, they're pretty... yeah, as you can quite clearly tell right there. They're pretty dangerous. And I have a bad feeling that if I do get myself killed, I might actually end up losing. So... we're gonna have to be a bit I don't know, just a bit cautious. A little, just a little, you know, not too much, but just a little bit. Make sure that we're not... Yeah, as you can see, they are just absolutely eating our infantry alive. And I'm not sure whether you'd really want to do that. I think Rhodoks would probably taste a little bit too chewy, wouldn't it? And a little bit, well, I'm not entirely sure what it would taste like, to be honest. But yeah, Rhodoks a little bit chewy because they're quite stubborn. You know, they're quite stubborn when it comes to the defensive nature of their thieves. So I can only assume that they taste a little bit. You know, they have their chewy texture to them. Anyway, there you go. Some Sea Raider chiefs and Sea Raiders, and there is exactly what I was talking about. Absolutely fantastic. We got the mail shirt right there. That is wonderful. And now we also have some axes and things like that. I could also sell them, but just bear that in mind. I could also sell the, you know, what is it now? The armor, you know, I could also sell the armor if we wanted to. But for me personally, I feel like that's not worth it. I personally don't believe that that's worth it. So, I think the armor is fundamentally, especially because we're playing with RBM, armor is very important in basically just preventing you from dying instantaneously. Armor very much helps you to survive when you have RBM. So that's the reason why we're going to be, you know, kind of prioritizing that for the moment. Did I actually gain some... Yes, we did get some experience with some of our people here, so we can now actually start getting some others leveled up. And I actually wouldn't... I don't really want to go into another battle right now. I would like to go over to Praven because we are so close. And I'm just going to sell a couple of things. I don't really want to go too hard here. We just kind of want to be a little bit careful. Nothing too dramatic. And we're just going to sell for 4,000. Pretty nice in itself. And did I actually... Nope, look at that. We are one... That is so funny. One renown away. And that's exactly the point as well. If I had won that other tournament, I'd already be in clan tier 1. And then I might actually be able to become a mercenary. Because you can see here, it says, eligible for being a mercenary once we're at the next clan tier. So it would have been fantastic, but... Oh well. That's how it goes. Okay, now we got to be careful here because we want these guys to come in, right? These fellows, but we don't want the 26. We would lose if the 26 were included in the battle. Okay, we might be lucky here. Yes, absolutely perfect. Okay, this is wonderful. So if the 17 had joined us here, it would be a hard battle. I actually don't think we would be able to achieve victory if the 17 had also joined in, because as you've seen, they are really defensive. They are really, really defensive, and it's very... Whoa! Did you see that? They actually hit from all the way over there? Whoa, I am impressed. Okay, that is very, very impressive. Wow, okay, I am so impressed by that. That is crazy, considering these fellows actually have amazing shields. They've got great coverage on their shields. So it's very, very unlikely that they would have been able to do something there, but they did. Wow, okay. Well, the best thing I can do is pretty much just delay the opponent as much as possible. And that's exactly what I'm going to try here. And I'm going to try to sort of approach them from behind as well. We always want to do that. I'm not thrusting at them though, unfortunately, so we're not going to be getting a huge amount of penetration against them at this point, but I'm not sure if they'd enjoy that or not. It may very well be that they are just going to have to deal with a little bit of slashy action instead. And, I mean, let's face it, you know, it's probably a good idea anyway, just to make sure that we're going to stay alive, because thrusting in this situation, you're going to be very vulnerable. You know what I mean? If you actually do decide to thrust into an enemy in the middle of the battle, you're going to be surrounded by a bunch of guys that are all looking at you, and maybe there's going to be a little bit of performance anxiety. There might be that. You never know. So that's always something to be a little bit careful of. Anyway, as you can see right here, we have some peasants that will now go into watchmen. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Oh, hello. This is a new unit that I don't think I've seen before. Oh, that actually seems pretty fun. You know what? I'm going to rescue that peasant, even though I don't really care about peasants that much. I think it's probably going to be kind of fun to do that. And then do we have one sharpshooter? Yes, I finally got one sharpshooter, and we also have one Rhodoks sergeant. Look at what this guy is wearing. He's wearing some insane... Look at this. Look at what? Look at that. 132 body armor. 132 body armor, 157 head armor, and 118 body armor as well. This guy is literally running around like an absolute tank. He is never going to be killed. Or at the very least, it's going to take a very long time for anyone to kill him. And we're going to be equipping these lordly shoes. We're going to get her some lordly shoes too. And yeah, see, now this is exactly the reason why I was saying to you, just fight some Sea Raiders. They are going to be giving us so much cool stuff, and I don't even need to really, you know, really worry about fighting them either. They do seem to die relatively quickly. Funnily enough, though, I do think the reason why we're actually able to even think about, you know, like defeating them is because of our distraction. I think that actually makes a huge difference. I know that may seem like I'm, you know, tooting my own horn a little bit there, and yeah, okay, fine, you know, to a certain degree, okay, fine, maybe I am. However, I do think that that strategy actually pays off a huge amount when it comes to these kinds of opponents, especially considering they have so many defensive measures. They've got great armor on, they've got really good shields. It's going to be hard for a crossbow-based or ranged party to be able to do the same kind of thing that a regular cavalry party would be able to do. Like, for example, if I were playing with Swadians right now, that would be a bit more difficult, at least in my opinion. I think it would be more difficult to achieve victory. Oh, sorry. I'm actually talking completely opposite right now. Okay, let me rephrase. Swadians with mounts, they would destroy these Sea Raiders. They would destroy these Sea Raiders very, very quickly. Unless, obviously, the Sea Raiders are lucky enough to have some spears, which they do actually have. They do actually have spears. So it may very well be that maybe I am misconstruing that. Maybe I'm thinking to myself, oh yeah, maybe they're going to absolutely destroy them. But maybe the Sea Raiders are actually going to be pretty good at defending against a band of cavalry. You know, but I do think that the whole deal with them having shields, it's making everything much, much harder for the ranged characters to deal any damage. And that's the reason why me running around here and doing some damage to these guys and, you know, providing them a little bit of a distraction as well is making a big difference, because they're going to face away, you know? That's the funny thing. The Sea Raiders are facing their backs to my troops. And if we can open them up to any kind of shot, which is exactly what's happening here, look at how much damage is being done. This is the reason why I wanted to play as the Rhodoks as well, because while crossbows are very, very slow, as we know, this is exactly the reason why I'm playing such a distraction-based gameplay sort of, you know, strategy here. The amount of damage they can do over a longer period of time is so impactful. And this is in comparison to Vajir marksmen, for example. If you were to, you know, run around with a bunch of Vajir marksmen, you're going to have to be careful with the amount of ammunition they use, unless they have double quivers equipped. If they have double quivers equipped, then obviously you don't have to worry about it as much, but crossbowmen are much more efficient with their usage of ammunition, and that's the reason why I generally wanted to play with them, as well as obviously having the ability to potentially counter Swadian Knight, because, you know, if we have to fight against Swadians at any point, which we probably will be, then we're going to have a bit of a problem on our hands. At least I think it's probably going to be an issue. Now, what I'm actually very curious about is the Swadians. Do you think they require mounts, like actual mounts as in items, to be able to upgrade their mounted troops? Because if you require mounts and then require war mounts to be able to level them up, I'm actually not entirely sure if I can check that. I don't think it's going to tell me whether they require them. It doesn't seem to say that, right? It doesn't seem to say that. So I'm actually very curious to know whether the footman needs a mount to level into a Swadian man-at-arms, and whether the man-at-arms needs a war mount to level up into a Swadian knight. If anyone knows, by all means, let me know, because that would be very interesting to find out, because main reason being, if that is indeed the case, then I think it may actually be more efficient to play Rhodoks, or at the very least, maybe it's going to be, it doesn't really, efficient is not really the word I'm looking for right there, but I think you understand what I'm talking about. Basically, I'm just saying that the requirement for horses can sometimes be very damaging to a progression for a party, so it's going to be kind of harsh. Anyway, do I have any sumpter horses? I've got one. Are you serious? What a classic, what a classic. You know, it feels to me like I should probably just buy a huge amount of sumpter horses, because these guys always need them for some reason. I don't know why, but they apparently do. Well, never mind. Alright, so I went to the village and I already got the horses that he needed. And so there you go, 946 gold for us in an instant, basically, because all I needed to do was go over to Savinth, and then I made my way back. Super easy, right? Yeah, super easy. And there is actually a quest that I wanted to do in Praven. I believe it was an escort merchant caravan mission. However, I didn't really have the ability to do that with the amount of troops that I had at the time. So what I'm actually going to do is we're going to go in here. I have just recruited a bunch of tribesmen and things like that. So what I'm going to try is literally just auto-resolving against these fellows, gaining as much experience as I can with them, and just continually trying to level them up. Oh, wait a minute. Hello. I literally just got lucky. I got so lucky right here. A nasal helm over mail. That is incredible. Look at the head armor it's giving me. 75 head armor. Obviously, I can still get hit in the face by a massive dong, and then everything is just going to go absolutely awfully. But that is only if they can hit, you know? That is only if they can hit, and we're not going to let them hit, you know? They've got to prove themselves first before they can do that. Anyway, we've got 46 against 39. I think most of my troops are indeed actually not very good, by the way. I think most of my troops are like tier 1s or something like that. So I am not having a very high hope that we'll be able to achieve victory here. But if that is indeed the case, then we're just going to have to run away. And we're going to have to be, you know, very brave individuals as we run. Yes, indeed. Okay, plus 20 bow skill. Oh, yeah, that sounds pretty good. All right. That sounds nice. Okay, let me see. I'm thinking we're probably going to move up here. I'd like to try and get a little bit higher than the opponent, but I feel like that is going to be impossible. Oh, dear. I have a bad feeling about this, actually. Now that I think about it, I have a really bad feeling about this. There's 46 enemies. 46. That's a lot. That is a lot. And they are all very good. You know, they're all actually very powerful in comparison to us. Because they have generally much better skills, much better gear, and all that. So it's not going to be great. Let me actually just spread these guys out a little bit, put them into a loose formation. We need to actually get them to hold position right about here, put these guys here, put them into a shield wall as well, and then I'm just going to go up there, and we're going to see if I can do something. You know that I'm worried because I'm using formations. I never use formations because I normally think, oh yes, everything's going to be fine. You know, most of the time you are going to be fine if you don't even bother using formations. But in a difficult battle, it's going to be kind of recommended. You know, it's going to be one of those things. Okay, I'm actually getting myself killed right now for nothing, which is hilarious. Definitely not what I wanted. But that's fine. I'm basically just being a distraction, you know, just running around here, being a distraction. Thankfully, they suck at throwing weapons, so that is wonderful. I can only hope that my crossbowmen will do a good job, and if I do get killed, I can bring out my own crossbow. This is real bad, actually. Should I actually charge in right now? Should I retreat? I have a bet. Oh no, oh no, I feel really. Oh no, this is not good. This is not good. I think I might actually want to retreat from this. What do you think? What do you think? Oh no, we might actually be okay. For some reason we're winning. How are we winning? Against Sea Raiders with a bunch of random guys in the center there. Oh no, never mind. We're actually starting to lose now. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna need to... No! Okay, that's fine. That's not fine, I'm dead. That is certainly not fine. The glaive is obviously gonna be absolutely pointless. The glaive is completely and utterly pointless in a situation like this. And now my archers are going to be skirmishing, which is really bad for crossbowmen. But hopefully it's gonna be enough. Who do we have here? What is this guy? Look at him. He's got like fully plate armor on and stuff. No wonder we are absolutely destroying them, to be honest. I mean, well, to be fair, we're not actually really destroying them, but we are doing much better than I thought. This guy is using a cleaver. Oh, he just chopped him in. Wow. I mean, technically, if there were that kind of damage modeling in the... You know, in battles and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure he would have chopped him in half right there. That would have been very cool. But yeah, anyway, there you go. That is indeed a victory for us. I'm actually very surprised. Most of the people that we lost were just Rhodoks tribesmen, so we don't really need to be super, you know, upset by that. So that is nice, and we do have a lot of level ups as well to go for. Let's continue leveling up our crossbowmen here, and look at this. I just gained a much better Huskar mail shirt and a much better helmet. Oh yeah, look at him. Oh, look at how he's looking right now. He's looking absolutely fantastic. He's looking great. Okay, so Svala is going to be gaining some crazy cool stuff now because she is so lucky right here. She is so lucky because I was thinking that she was going to be running around with some absolutely garbage, you know, equipment for quite some time because, let's face it, I am not really that lucky when it comes to equipment for companions at least, or I just forget to actually upgrade them. That could also be it. Anyway, we are... just gonna be looting everything. Thank you. Yes, just loot everything and then we'll leave. And yeah, we're gonna run the other way. This is gonna be a bit of a problem if they decide to attack us. It seems like it's okay. Okay, seems like it's fine, as you can see right there. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. So yeah, we are just going to make our way back and probably just go over to Yalen. I'd like to continue just recruiting Rhodoks. I don't necessarily have to stick with Rhodoks only, but I feel like that is going to be the most interesting as we go forward here, even though, to be fair, all of the units in the mod are looking so incredibly cool that... it kind of, I don't know, is it kind of, you know, cutting off our nose to spite our face kind of deal? Do we want to recruit some more stuff? I'm not entirely sure, because on the one hand, I feel like it would be really cool to have the challenge of playing with Rhodoks only, but on the other hand, I feel like we're missing out, you know what I mean? We're missing out on... not being able to use the others, but I guess it doesn't really matter too much. What I'm going to do, though, is I am actually going to give her... what am I actually going to give her right now? We should probably give her a cleaver or something like that. Yeah, just give her the cleaver or whatever, and then we'll just sell the rest. And there's that 18,000 in cash. That just goes to show Sea Raiders, definitely the way to go. That's it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.